What's up, guys? It's Catching Kinsley. Today I got a music theory lesson for you guys. Welcome. Today we are diving into the major scale, the DNA of almost every song you hear on the radio. Before we build a scale, we need to understand the two types of steps we use to move around the keyboard. First, the half step, which is labeled H in this diagram. This is the shortest distance between two any keys on the piano, white to black or white to white, with no keys in between. On the standard keyboard, you'll find a natural half step between E and F and B and C. In this diagram below, you can see the natural half step is E and F and B and C, and then all the black keys from C to C sharp, D to D sharp, or E to E flat, or D to D flat. And then you have the natural half step, which is E to F. And then you have another half step, F to F sharp, or G to G flat, or G to G sharp, or A to A flat, or A to A sharp, or B to B flat. And then you have another natural half step, which is B to C. Next is the whole step. A whole step is simply two half steps put together. You skip the key immediately next to you and land on the following one. So in this diagram right here, as you can see, a whole step would be C to D, E, and then a whole step from E to F sharp or G flat, or a whole step would be F to G, or G to A, or A to B, or B to C sharp, and then you have C sharp to B flat, or A sharp, and then you have B flat A sharp to G sharp A flat, and then G sharp A flat to F sharp G flat, and then you have F to D flat, E flat D sharp, and then D sharp to C sharp D flat, D flat E flat to C sharp D flat. And I may be missing some, but you get the gist of it. The major scale is a specific sequence of steps. The easiest way to see this is by looking at the white keys from C to C. If we label these notes as scale degrees, 1 through 8, a clear picture emerges. If we look at this diagram, you can see C is 1, D is 2, E is 3, F is 4, G is 5, 6 is A, 7 is B, and then an octave, which is back to the 1 is C. And if we look at the keyboard, you would go from C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So C to C, C to C. I know that's kind of hard to see because my keyboard's all black. But we label these notes as scale degrees. I just numbered them for you. A clear pattern emerges. So we have a whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Notice exactly where those whole steps fall. They occur only between the scale degree 3 and 4. So if we look at this picture right here, they fall between 3 and 4 and 7 and 1. If we look at this, if we look at 3 and 4, you can see it's a half step. If we look at 7 and 1, you can see it's a half step. Every major scale, no matter what note it starts on, must follow this exact mathematical arrangement. There's even a simpler way to memorize this. If you look closely at the scale, it actually has two identical halves joined together. These 4 notes building blocks are called tetrachords. A major tetrachord always follows the pattern whole, whole, half. As you guys can see, whole, whole, half. And then it's separated by a whole note. And then it's whole, whole, half. So both whole, whole halves are identical in structure. The major scale feels balanced and symmetrical to our ears. A whole step just connects them. So it's whole, whole, half. A whole step connects them, whole, whole, half. Half steps are the smallest distance. Whole steps skip a key. Major scales only have half steps between 3 and 4 and 7 and 1. And major scale is just 2 tetrachords separated by a whole step. In our next video, we'll see what happens when we start on a different note and we have to use black keys called accidentals to keep the pattern alive. See you guys then. And thank you guys for watching a quick music theory video. I'm trying to get better at teaching you guys. I don't know if this video helped you, but if not, go look at other teachers and until it solidifies.